let's talk. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second edition of Let's Talk. Now, what I want to talk about today is everything that's happening right now in the entertainment industry, the industry that I work in. And even though it's been a while since I've done a job, my last job in the entertainment industry was theater, doing Star Mites. Happened about 3 weeks ago. And I'm very glad that I got theater jobs. Before that, I was in the Heights. And I was very grateful to have those theater jobs, because what I didn't know at the time, because I don't keep up with too much with the news, I'm kind of concerned about myself, is a strike is happening, a writer's strike. A lot of writers right now are being replaced by AI, a lot of writers are being underpaid, and because of that, they decide to go on strike. Now, this strike lasted a while before the union, the Screen Actors Guild, which is SAG, decided that, we've got reasons to strike too, because unbeknownst to a lot of background actors, people who do background work, extra work, they went in to do full body scans of themselves, even some actors as well, not just background actors, but some actors. Unbeknownst to them, they didn't sign anything, they didn't agree to do any, well, they agreed, but they didn't realize what it would be for. They had full body scans done to them, and using AI, they are able to use their likeness in their movies. And what does that mean for background actors? Well, it means that AI can use your likeness and put you in the background of a movie. Now, the way background actors get their pay is that they get to be on set for a certain amount of days and get paid every single day that they are on set. They get paid hourly, or they get paid a certain amount of money for how many hours they get paid. And now, because of AI and because of those full body scans, they come in for one day, get scanned, and then they never show up again. And now they get replaced by AI, which means that their primary source of income has now been replaced by a bot. And I can understand why that would anger a lot of people, because the way that I got my eligibility to be a part of the Actors Union, Screen Actors Guild, is through background work. I was a background in the movie Bullet Train, and I was paid for 3 days. They didn't do a body scan on me because the technology wasn't there at the time, thankfully. But to have AI replace somebody whose sole income is background work is devastating, especially when you're protected by the union, especially when you have to pay union dues. And you can't pay those dues if you're not working. And how can you work when you're being replaced by AI? Which is why the Screen Actors Guild is currently on strike. Now, how this extends to people outside of the union is, if you want to be a professional actor, on TV, on movies, film, all of that, it is highly recommended, if you want to make it big, if you're ready to scale yourself, you want to join the Screen Actors Guild. You want not only union protection, but union benefits. And when you replace people who, like me, have gotten union eligibility through background work, and now you can only really be part of the union if you can book a gig, well then it's difficult. It is very difficult. And for the people that are already paying union dues, that are part of the union, they have a hard time paying their rent now. They have a hard time paying their necessities. So it is a very difficult situation, and I'm on the side of those people, more on the side of those people. However, and I will say this, I'm I'm not playing both sides. I am on the side of, everybody that's currently on strike right now. It's messed up what's happening to them. However, I can see why, in a business sense, that AI is the right move. Because it takes a lot of time to move background actors from one place to another. It takes a lot of time to get background actors fitted. It takes a lot of time to get background actors processed through with their payment, with getting people on board. You have to pay people that cast the background actors as well. It's a lot. It's a pretty sizable chunk of money depending on the project. Now, when you replace it with AI, you no longer have to cast anybody. Maybe you can still cast people, but when you do that, you take out a large amount of budget spent on paying background actors, feeding background actors with crafty. You save a bit of money. Now, is it going to take a huge chunk out of the movie's budget? No, but I do understand why they did it. What I don't approve of is how they did it. If they were transparent, if they said, hey, we're going to do a body scan of you so that AI can take your likeness and we can use your likeness in the movie so you don't have to show up on set anymore. I understand if they were more transparent, if people understood what they were getting themselves into, I would be a little bit more understanding because people could say no. However, if they were able to use AI and still pay for the person's likeness to that background actor, I don't see a problem. However, they're not doing that. So, what truly is the worst part of it is that they did it without permission, because there's no legal standing quite yet on AI. AI is relatively new, and there's no actual laws out there right now for AI. It's the same with the internet. There's things that you can't get away with on the internet nowadays. But back when the internet came out, it was a lawless jungle. I remember when I was a kid, the things that I didn't see like extremely messed up things. I stuck to Neopets and RuneScape when I was a child. But when I heard about the things that were there when the internet was just coming out, when there was still dial-up, when I heard about those things, I thought that makes sense because there's no internet laws to prevent people from posting heinous things. Then, yeah, it was a lawless jungle. It was a interesting time. It was a beautiful time of freedom, but also a heinous time of really weird people out there. And now that AI is out, and now that there's no laws for AI, people are going to take advantage of there being no laws in AI for now, until it can be regulated lawfully on what you can do, especially if you're using someone's likeness. I think that's an extremely heinous crime, because some people make money, especially if actors especially, make a living off of their likeness, their personality, their image. This is the product. Everything here is the product when it comes to an actor. And when you can steal that and use that in your movie, in your short film, in your music video, without giving royalties to the person's likeness, at the very least, it is a very dangerous thing to do. I think it is very unethical. It's like deep fakes. Nowadays with AI, and now with AI voices, I mean, you see, I've been on TikTok once in a while. You see people using AI voices to create songs that sound really good, but it's scary how close we are getting to, and actually no, not even close. It's scary how we've got to, how accurate you could duplicate someone's image and voice to say and do whatever you want. That's scary. You can blackmail, you can bribe, it's a scary thing. And I think there needs to be some sort of protection against that. I think there needs to be some sort of a way to find out if there's a person if you can find out if it's authentic or AI. But until that happens, I understand why a company would try to get away with it, because it is a lawless jungle now. AI is a lawless jungle currently, until laws are set in place. Now, it's unethical. I understand why they did it. It is for money. It's a way to save money. However, that doesn't excuse them actually doing it, because doing it, I think, is just heinous. It's awful. You're ruining a lot of people's livelihoods. Imagine you invested in something that you are telling yourself, you know what, from this day forward, I'm going to be this for the rest of my life, because this is the path that I've chosen. This is the path I know that I need to be on. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And then somebody comes along, invents something, AI, and replaces you. You can no longer do that thing better than AI. And therefore you have been replaced. Your job has been taken over by robots. I think you'd be pretty upset too. So, this is ruining a lot of people's livelihoods. It's ruining a lot of people's investments in their life and their time. And I do side with the strike. I do side on the side of the strike. So, that being said, that's what I wanted. It's a very difficult time for the film industry, for for music videos, for short films, for TV, that all have to do with SAG-AFTRA. And I hope it gets settled soon. I hope they can come to a compromise. I know that with the new technology, with AI, they don't want to, the people making the decisions up there don't want to give an inch. But until that happens, until we can get some kind of regulation, or until they can come to a compromise, we're not going to be seeing a lot of media from Hollywood. And if we are, it's going to be very small. It's going to be very rare. It's going to be difficult to get through. However, this does bring about something that I'm very happy for, which is independent films. Films that are non-union, films that are independent of Hollywood, that have a good story to tell. And I've always been a fan of independent films. I think Hollywood films are so bad. I think Hollywood films aren't good. Some of them can come out like huge blockbuster films, Hollywood films that are really good. I think anything Christopher Nolan makes is fantastic, but you don't see a lot of that anymore. And we need more films like what Christopher Nolan's got. And those are coming from independent films. Independent films are, they don't have the huge budget. However, the artfulness, the craft, the story, the themes, independent films are still they're still hit or miss. Some independent films are bad, but at the same time, it's not formulaic. At the very least, it's not formulaic. You look at the Hollywood movies today, you can almost predict what's going to happen with the movie. I predicted what's going to happen with Barbie. It's definitely going to be it's a very matriarchal film. And I have not seen Barbie, but I already knew it was going to be a very matriarchal film. It's predictable at this point. Hollywood films have become very predictable. Independent films, at the very least, aren't predictable. And when you see an independent film, it can be very good or very bad. And even the very bad ones, at the very least, I respect that they had that they made it. Even if it was bad, I have the respect that they made it with the budget they have, somewhere out there, a writer, director, and maybe a producer or two, a few producers maybe, believed in the film even though it was bad, because it was probably extremely fun. But I respect that about independent films. So, in conclusion, I totally side with everybody else on SAG-AFTRA going on strike. And AI is a very scary thing. But until we can come up with some laws on AI, it is a lawless jungle. So it can come out with some great things and come out with some heinous things. So I'm gonna keep a lookout for the great things. Until then, thanks for watching.